change, they call my name.
Hi, Rich here, Spirit of Wild Wings. One of the things I've wanted to demonstrate for a little while, it involves a fire making skill, and around here, what you can see now in front of us, we have a series of items. And what we're having here are things for solar, creating fire. Now, this, if you've seen other videos, is what I use to make char cloth, and in particular right now, this black that you can see is charred cattail fluff. Took the heads of the cattails and charred them. Today we have a very high humidity day. Since I'm going to be working with fire and stuff, wanted to do it, you know, here in a safe spot. So, to play with that, first thing I want to do is I'm going to introduce you to this really granddaddy magnifying glass. And I'm going to zoom, as you can see that beam, I'm going to zoom it out. And, you know, as you can see, it smokes. Now, char cloth is a different animal than charring plant fluff. And this is lit, and it will burn the heck out of me in a minute. So, I'm going to pick it up and put it inside this block so I don't catch everything on fire. But with a large magnifying glass, I can create fire. We're going to do all these tests quickly. I'm wearing sunglasses for this, just so you know. As you can see, I can quickly burn this surface, but it's almost immediately out. Here I have a little bit of jute twine. Grab my knife. Jute twine. And while I'm at jute twine, I have a bit of dryer lint here, because dryer lint fluff is one that has become kind of a standard as well. So let's zoom out on the dryer lint. And I have burning dryer lint, and I'll throw that underneath. Jute twine. As I'm focusing on the end, I have burning, I don't know how well the smoke shows, but I have burning jute twine, just, you know. But that's a huge, huge magnifying glass. So all these things we're doing are going to be progressive. Like I say, char cloth would be a simple standard, but it's an easy standard. And I don't want everybody to get used to that whole, you know, everything being that easy concept, because in the real world, it's not necessarily what we're going to do. Okay. In here I have, now that was a plastic magnifying glass. I have a large glass one. So let's focus this. Whoops. As the wind kicks up and blows my materials around. Let's focus my magnifying glass on my char cattail. Wow! And yeah, that was on fire. Get it inside the block. Okay. So again, we're talking a 4.5 inch magnifying glass. Sets it to light pretty fast. I can. Now, when I'm wanting to get this burning, I want in this case, I don't want the beam on that super fine point. As you can see, we actually got this one to burst into flame. So back to my stick for what I'm explaining. If I take my stick and I focus it into the finest point, I get to burn and create. But if I focus it in that point and bring it in, so it's a little larger, I begin to char the area around it. And once I can begin to char it, I have a better chance of creating that piece to burn. So on we go to the jute twine. And again, we have burning jute twine. And I'll set that down the way. Now, another bit of cattail fluff. Another bit of dry lint. And I get another bit of jute twine. Alright. Now, I have here a magnifying glass from a dollar store, and this was, it's $1, and this is what, maybe 2.5, 3-inch magnifying glass. Plastic, the lens will be distorted. But I get smoke, and with time, I'll get fire. And it's burning. Okay. Same kind of thing here on my dry lint. Now the goal here, well, getting it to flame like that would be great. I want to get it to smolder. So far I'm not succeeding with the dryer lint. Okay, finally got that one. I try my luck on my jute twine. I'm going to give this, a little help, and I'm going to elevate my jute twine. And now I have a really good breeze coming through. The reason for elevating it is so that it's not being extinguished laying on the cement. Okay. Let me grab another little chunk of... Now, like I said, if you're playing with char cloth, which is a perfect thing for fire starting, char cloth can eliminate all the challenges, but in a real scenario, you're going to run out of char cloth. You're going to have to make your own. You're going to be charring plant fibers. So you need to be ready to do that. Now, I'm going to start now with one of my things that I carry, which is a little survival pack. It has a compass, as you can see, a nice loud whistle, and it has a magnifying glass. This is Ozark Trails or whatever. Now, we're going to start with its magnifying glass. And by the way, I'm doing this at noon. Now, since we've actually had the time change, it's probably right now actual 11:30, but This is about as heat of the day as you're going to really get. So if I can start it, now's the time. Now, magnifying glass is because of the way they're shaped. They gather the photons from the sun and then bend their path and focus them into a concentrated spot before they go on and disperse back out. The smaller the lens, the finer the dot we can generate. But you notice having a real booger of a time getting a reaction. Does that mean I can't do it with this? No, I can. But if I'm wanting to light something with this, I'm going to need some sort of a propping device. Let's see what I can come up with. To where I can prop this and then get it focused on my target and be able to walk away, because this is going to take minutes, and I mean it's going to take minutes before this small lens can generate enough heat to set any of this on fire. Okay, we're not going to get anything alight without waiting literal minutes. So this will get me fire, but you do need to be aware of how long it can take. Okay, here I have a pair of folding reading glasses. I went down and bought these. You can see the strength is 1.5, not the highest, but they didn't have this type of folders in 3s, and this makes it convenient. But watch, so you can see the shape of my beam down here. As I bring it out, it's going to start by following the shape of my lens until I can focus, and right there is the focus of the sun. Okay, that's as focused as this is going to get me. Again, I'm increasing all the photons and concentrating them. Will I be able to generate fire with this? Yes. Will I do it right away? Well, right now I'm probably 3 feet away from my material. And I would need to prop this and let it continue to focus. Because even though I'm trying to hold steady between the wind and just the nature of holding my arm over my head and holding it, you can see that, first off, we did not get it on fire. Again, minutes. You're going to have to be willing to invest minutes. Now, if you're in an emergency situation, you need fire. Will you willing, I don't even know how this go back in here. You have to be willing to invest that time. And that's pretty well true. But if you've never done this stuff, you need to be aware that, there we go, that it will take time. Now right now the sun's going behind a cloud. I've got another pair of readers here. And if I'm focusing it on the wood, and I can transfer it. You can see the beam here and here from the 2 different lenses. It's gotten cloudy, but you can tell the beams are not real small. And that has to do with the nature of the lens, magnification of it. If it was a higher magnification, now I could take this one and another one and try to focus the 2 beams And if I was doing that, I would probably want to pull the lenses out and focus them. If you've seen pictures of the early discoveries of telescopes, you have the idea. Now, just for the fun of it, it's very cloudy right now. Heavy clouds. I'm going to focus my beam, and you should be able to see the patterning of the clouds down on the brick. It will transfer that, and you can see it. I can try and bring the sun into focus. But remember, we talked about available photons. So here we have my huge magnifying glass. This one. And with the clouds blocking the sun, until they move, I'm going to have a booger of a time getting started. Now I've got a light now. I can smell that one. And the sun's out. So do I recommend planning on this as being a potential fire source? No. I have it because I have a compass with it, a whistle to signal, a thermometer, and a magnifying glass that can help me get things like a splinter out of my finger, because this is not what I want for a fire creation tool. Would this work? Oh yes, it would. It has a small lens there that focuses and the bigger lens, and I can utilize this again. I can quickly get my jute or other plant materials into that smoldering state. And this is a $1 investment. I would probably recommend taking the handle off and wrapping it with something when I transport it. This is what I keep in my backpack. Now this one's glass. I got this at a yard sale or somewhere. And again, we can see how cloudy it's become because I can project my image onto the brick here. And even though that's been charred, there is no way right now that I'm going to be able to get a fire. So magnifying glasses, you need good sun. You need to be able to hold your, by the way, to show you what can happen, you can see the patterning on my hand of the cloud. If that sun came out behind that cloud right now, my hand would be moving very quickly out of the way. Alright, so, and here it comes, beginning to creep around as the sun comes back out. Wisps of smoke are coming off my jute, and my hand is safe. So this magnifying glass is wrapped in paper towel or in cloth and in my bag. This, which is a nice scuffed up one, this actually stays in the glove box of my vehicle as an emergency fire potential. It's a little scuffed up. It hasn't been protected, which it probably should be. As you can see, I can get this going. So you're looking at what I would recommend as the smallest magnifying glass that I would tell you to go with. Anything else can work, especially if it was maybe 2 inches across. When you get smaller than that, you're really having a question of how many photons are being focused, okay? The bigger the better on any of this. The more photons, the more you're going to get it. This is my big magnifying glass. Now, there are things that are probably not the wisest tool to play with or wisest thing to do. But while we're playing and we're doing all this, let me crush out my thing here so while I'm playing I don't inadvertently start some kind of fire. I'm going to say we're going to focus this, and I'm going to get my beam. You can see it on the plastic. Always seems like a good idea. And there's probably a way of doing it. I can see that my lens here wants to keep throwing focus past this. This was just dispersing the light. So, our magnifying glasses, good to have. Absolutely, you bet you. What do we need? Well, we need a large magnification, high magnification. And we need a good diameter. These are fairly thin. If I could get one, say, 1.5 inches across, but really thick with a lot of curvature to it, where it's really going to throw a tight focus, unlike what you saw with the reading glasses we tried, I would be able to get a fire much more readily. So, just a quick lesson. Now, this is Rich, Spirit of Wild Wings. Want to see you out and getting some dirt time with us? I hope to see you soon. Bye now.